Oh, that's better. That's better. Feet quit. Oh, good. All right, so you see how when I quit riding that time, he really drug it because he knew if he didn't, that reprimand was going to come. You know, that uncomfortableness. If they don't, you ask them light first. You give them a chance. And if they refuse, you make it uncomfortable if they don't do what you want. So in this horse's case, you know, if he's not stopping, I'm going to make it uncomfortable. If I'm riding, oh. Now I didn't have to touch him. Kind of stopped on his front end. So I'm going to back him up a little bit, get on your butt, bring him through, direct rein, use my foot. Back him up, bring him through the direct rein, use my outside foot. Okay? Now let's ask him again. Oh, that's better. That's better.
Okay, before we continue on, let's stop for a second. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate one of several methods I use to train a horse to stop. I'm also going to list some of the reasons why you might not be getting the results that you want. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to have another video pop up which will help your stops even more. Okay, so let's get started with the tips. All right, tip number 1. Make sure you're putting the correct foundation on the horse. You know, your horse, he's got to have a foundation that can be built on. You know, the stop is improved gradually from the foundation that's laid. You're not going to know how to build the correct foundation unless you know how to get to the end result. Meaning, if you don't know how to put a good stop on a horse, how are you going to put a good foundation on him? You know, a lot of people, they'll say, hey, Larry, I can put the basics on the horse, but I can't put any advanced training on him. Well, if you don't know the advanced stuff, how are you going to put the basics on him? You remember, you got to build on the basics to get on to the advanced stuff. So, it's logical. A good example is like say you're a building contractor and somebody's hired you to lay the foundation for a building. Well, if you don't know the exact width, length, height, or what materials the building's made out of, you can't build the foundation because you don't have enough information. And it's the same way with training a horse. You got to know the advanced stuff before you really know how to lay a good solid foundation on the horse. I mean, that's just horse training. That's just the way it is. And that's why I encourage all my clients to learn as much as they can. I mean, it's pretty important. And at the end of this video, like I say, I'm going to have another video pop up which will show you a good way to get the job done. I mean, I think you'll really like it. Okay, next tip. When stopping, sit on your butt, not on your thighs. The rider needs to sit down in the saddle on the cheeks of his butt, meaning on his jean pockets, with his shoulders directly over his hips and his lower back slightly rounded. And the biggest mistake I see people do is they arch their back and ride on their thighs. And, usually they just have the wrong idea. Nobody's, they've always heard the term sit tall in the saddle, or they see, equitation riders riding that way. And yeah, it's the wrong way to go. Now, this next tip, this is a biggie. Matter of fact, this might be the most important one. Make sure you're riding a saddle which is designed right. A saddle that will actually help you ride and balance and sit to stop. Because most saddles don't. Most saddles actually hinder your riding instead of helping it. And we'll do reining clinics and stuff like that. And the vast majority of people at the clinic, they're riding a saddle that actually prevents them from riding in balance and sitting to stop. They'll be having problems, and they'll ask me, how come I can't get this done? And I said, I can see your saddle, it's not designed right. You couldn't sit to stop if your life depended on it. And of course they'll argue and say, yeah, but it says reining saddle right on the saddle. And I said, yeah, well, it might say that, but it's not designed right for reining. So, you got to get one that's designed right. And on my YouTube channel, I actually have a 3-part video series about choosing a saddle, that fits you, fits your horse, and fits your style of riding. It'd be really good if you watch that, because it'll clear up a lot of the questions you've got about saddle design and what the saddle needs to do to allow you to ride well. Now, the next tip again is super important, really important. You got to ask for the stop at the correct part of the horse's stride. I mean, you gotta ask him to stop when his hind legs are in the air and on their way forward, or just a split second later when all 4 feet are off the ground. But the main principle is you got to ask for the stop when his hind legs are in the air and free to shoot up under his body and stop on his hocks. If you ask for the stop when his hind feet are on the ground, you're going to cause him to come down hard on his front end and jar your eye teeth loose. I mean, this happens to so many people. They ask for the stop at the wrong part of the horse's stride, and they actually force the horse to stop on his front end. They're just not aware of it. They don't know what's happening wrong. If you in any of my stopping videos, any of my stopping DVDs or online training courses on stopping, I show you how to master that timing. It's not as hard as you think. I give you techniques to really nail it. All right, well, that's pretty much all the tips I wanted to cover in this video. Let's go ahead and continue with the actual training techniques so you can see what they look like. And like I said before, at the very end of the video, another video will pop up that will teach you even more good things about stopping your horse. Okay, so important to watch that. All right, let's continue on.
Who? Who?
Okay, let's stop the video so I can give you some additional information. What you just watched was a short edited clip about training for a correct stop. If you'd like the complete picture of how to train your horse to do a good stop, get my videos titled Teach Your Horse to Stop Light and Collected and Training Secrets for Big Stops. Both titles are available on my website. I'll leave links to them in the description box below the video. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you when I upload a new video. You can leave your comments and questions in the comment section below the video. Oh, and don't forget to go to my website and get that free membership. It'll give you access to all kinds of good stuff. I mean, you'll learn a bunch. I'll have a link to it down below also. Okay, wait for the next video to pop up and click to watch it. That's all for now. Take care.